An American Eagle advertisement facing a popular actress drew backlash, and the controversy swelled even more yesterday with President Trump weighing in.
That's right. Joining us to talk live in the studio is Mike Leon. He's an NTD News contributor, as well as the host of the podcast, Can We Please Talk? Mike, great to see you in person, first of all. Normally we're doing this while you're at your home in Florida, but before we get to the marketing and the political and cultural aspects of this, if you could, for our viewers, just quickly kind of bring everybody up to speed, because it seems like every day this saga is evolving like under our feet.
Well, first off, for a lot of people that don't know this happened like last year, where Sydney Sweeney, I guess, had like a party. Her family threw a party, and some folks wore Make America Great hats, not her. And so she got a lot of flack from that, from different fans. So this is kind of almost a carryover. So I think this is why you're kind of seeing a snowball effect, because it's tying around, and we'll get into the good genes, but it's tying around potentially President Trump weighing in, as you saw. So I think everyone's kind of making that all into one big ball. But where we are now is, look, American Eagle posted an ad. They did this ad with Sydney Sweeney. We're going to get into the layers of what it does from an ad campaign strategy. The agency is going to create something. We're going to spark some controversy. We're going to sell some jeans, which we've seen their stock price go up recently. And she's gotten a lot of heat because there's a certain connotation associated with jeans and jeans, J-E-A-N-S. I'm misspelling that, and jeans. But it's made the rage. And look, American Eagle set out to get people talking about it, and we're devoting a segment to talking about it. So they've mission accomplished for them.
And yet they really didn't put funds into it. They posted the video, or not much in the way of funds. They just posted that video to social media. What does that tell you about, the leverage that they're getting here?
Steph, that's a great question, because not only that is, like, I know friends that are in that space where, look, all you got to do is turn on your camera. We all have it with us. Just turn on your camera, shoot it, send it out there. And this is a perfect example of, and I think the way people are starting to reframe their marketing budgets, we don't have to spend too much to promote it, and it can get legs. Now, yes, look, Sydney Sweeney, she's a big actress. She's been in a lot of movies. She's been in popular HBO shows. So she's a known face and commodity. But we're seeing, there's even a Dunkin' Donuts campaign that has caught some ire, and we're seeing that start to get legs, and nobody knows who the person is as the main actor in that campaign. So this is the new age and world that we live in. Throw something up on TikTok, Twitch. Look, I'm a byproduct of that. I'm a podcaster that none of you heard of 5 years ago, and here I am in studio talking about some of this stuff. So this is the way 2025 is. This is the way the technology space is now, where you can just upload things. You can shoot it high quality. You don't have to spend too much money. And boom, away you go. You add to the discourse and get people talking about your brand or product.
And of course, you and I do not know the actor in that Dunkin' Donuts ad, but my wife and daughter definitely know him, because he's in The Summer I Turned Pretty, apparently, which is a hit on Amazon.
No idea what that is.
Which is not marketed to us at all, that show. No. But, when you think of the timing, every kid, high school, college, even middle school, they're buying jeans for back to school.
Right.
They're getting all this earned media. The stock is up, but mostly probably on speculation. Is there potentially a risk that they may have alienated some either children or the parents of those children who are going to be buying those back to school clothes, and they're going to say, you know what? I don't want to buy American Eagle now. What is the risk and return of something like this?
Well, and again, great question, because you said it exactly, and the CNBC article that I was reading prior mentioned this. The stock price, like you said, it's up, but that's a futures. But then there's also what's going to happen after the quarters report back, right? Like, you do potentially alienate a base of folks. American Eagle jeans are not made for you and I, Carrie. I don't think I'm out of the age demo where I'm buying American Eagle jeans. So I'm already not included in that marketing campaign, right? When you bring in a Sydney Sweeney, you know you're bringing in an 18 to 35 demo, right? You know that you're bringing in female, and the campaign was driven towards females and jeans. So like you said, you never want to truly polarize your audience with respect to that. This kind of danced the line, because you have to look up what the connotation and association is between jeans and jeans. A lot of people don't know that on the surface. I can show you countless texts of friends of mine. They're like, hey, I don't get it. What's the big deal with it, right? Is the cancel culture card being pulled too early? So I think as the consumers right now, it really is all about the price point, right? So the first goal is to get the customers in there. And Sydney Sweeney brings that attractive face. She's got good genes, obviously. Use whichever one you want in that regard. But she can bring in those folks that follow her. She has an accumulated audience in the millions across social, like we were just talking about before. They leverage that. You do run the risk, but again, you run the risk of, I think, smarter people that understand genes that would then immediately say, American Eagle no longer. And I think that's just a little bit too far of a leap, but we'll see what their quarter earnings look like.
Is this the inverse of choosing Colin Kaepernick in someone who took a knee for Nike, saying, you know what, the people who don't like Colin Kaepernick or don't like that he took a knee probably aren't spending $120 on a Nike hoodie anyway. Is this the inverse? Are we seeing, with Trump jumping into the mix, lauding the ad, attacking Jaguar and Bud Light for going woke, going broke, even saying Taylor Swift took a little hit from her Super Bowl performance, whether or not that's true or not. Are we seeing the inverse of this trend now? Are the closet conservatives sort of coming out and it's okay now in Hollywood and Adland to be a conservative?
Look, first off, we live in the land of the free, home of the brave, right? So I think all of this is silly. And when I say silly, I mean in the context of these are human beings at the end of the day. If Sydney Sweeney wants to support Donald Trump, that's her right. As is my right to not watch a show. I don't feel this way, but my right to not watch a show that she's starring in because of her political views. It's very tough to disassociate art from the artist. Like, it's 2025 now. There are people that can look me up. They may not like my political views, which is why I tend to dance that middle line there, Karen, right? Don't want to alienate everybody.
Well.
I take my own advice. Great job. But it's true, though. Like, these are human beings. So they, as we just talked about, it's social media. All of them have millions of followers. They know when they're going to post something and whether or not it's going to get a directional response in either direction. So the Colin Kaepernick stuff, Kid Rock shooting Bud Light cans in his backyard, while I think it's all silly, it's within their right to do those things, just as it's within your right to not buy that Kid Rock CD or not support Nike if you feel like Colin Kaepernick has gone too far, even though I think he's over-explained, as he did with Nate Breyer. You remember the Seahawks long punter. This conversation is flying over. Steph said we're mentioning too many sports references. Sorry, Steph. But he met with a Green Beret basically to talk about what's the best way to honor folks without, making too big of a stink. And apparently taking a knee was too big of a stink. So it's your right to support and approve something, just like it's their right. They're human beings at the end of the day. They can make the choices they want to make. And, we can put that.
It's a fascinating conversation. It blends marketing, business, stock market with culture and art, as you say. Really appreciate you joining us in the studio. Always a pleasure. Mike Leon, host of the Can We Please Talk podcast and an NTD News contributor. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Steph.